I'm going to try to touch on quite a few different things on the front end, and then allow you guys to ask questions after that. The ones I can certainly answer, I will. But we've had an eventful week, a good morning. We've had a good month with the start of the new year, whether it be recruiting or whether it was staff, and then just a continuation of what we're doing here on a day-to-day. So I'll start with today's signing day. Thrilled to have signed Addison Penn this morning from South Lake Carroll High School in Texas and in Dallas. Tremendous young man, tremendous family. Plays center, has played at an extremely high level, and he really is going to make a difference for us up front. And as has been reported, we have signed some guys that will graduate in the spring and that are transfers. Quarterback Chase Bryce from Clemson, and offensive lineman Devery Hamilton from Stanford. Chase, I think, is a great fit for what we do here. I think he's going to come in and compete like crazy, obviously, to try to win the position. I like our guys here now, puts and gives us another quarterback on scholarship. We've been at 3 for a while now. It take us to 4. So I'm excited about working with those guys, and I know that Chase is really eager. And now that he's signed, we can start getting him information, and he can learn, and we look forward to that. Devery Hamilton is a big tackle that is rangy, very athletic, very strong. I know we're really excited. Played at Gilman in high school and did a great job for Coach Biff Poggi, and became aware that he was going to be leaving Stanford through Coach Poggi. Very appreciative of that, and I think he's going to be immediate help to our offensive front and brings a real physical presence. And then speaking of physical presence, Greg Fry, we've been in meetings this week in between all of the recruiting circumstances, and he's going to bring a physicality to our front. He's what I call an O-line guy. I mean, that's just what he does. He loves it. We've had a couple of, now I guess 3 morning runs with our team that he's been associated pushing those guys, and he's a lot of fun. He's a great relationship builder, going to help us in the run game. Just in conversation in there in the offensive staff room, there's no question he brings some new thoughts and some differences of approach. He's been in some good places with some good coaches, and could not be more thrilled. Kind of staying with the staff, the other change is I'm going to actually go through a transition myself. Obviously, I'm going to remain the head coach, but I am going to take on running the offense. I'm going to be the play caller. I'm going to spend an inordinate amount of time, and I would tell you on all of you on the front end that I'm going to be a little less accessible. You guys don't know me and how I work when I'm running an offense, and so I'm diving into that role, already in it, and it's going to be fun for me. It's exciting. I've kind of gotten heated up this week to step to the next thing. Daniel Jones and Jamison Crowder are here this week working. We've been doing 2-a-days with them. Daniel brought in Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton, two receivers. John Lloyd's been here. He has stayed in shape, getting work. Man, I'm loving coaching at Quincy. Has been out there when he could. He's in school at Fuqua, but he's getting ready for pro days. So we have had some fun on the practice field, and that has been really good. They look good. Daniel Jones looks good. I love the fact that he's working. and he's focused on getting better. And with the NFLPA rules, he doesn't have information from the new staff as to what's going to be what, but there's nothing ever wrong with hard work. And he's been really focused and throwing the ball well, and it's been good. And then the last thing I want to touch on is Clark Bullitt, Kevin Geschman, and Tim Skapek in Protect 3D being the first place winners of the NFL's first in Futures Innovations competition. I watched it as it was streamed. Kevin and Tim got to do the presentation. I know how hard Clark's worked all along with this, but they did tremendous. I thought you could really tell when the judges asked them more questions than they did anyone else. Very engaged, but we could not be more proud of our Duke gang leading the way there with that Future Innovations competition, and did a tremendous job. So from Addison Penn to Chase, Devery, Greg Fry, working with our pro guys, working and watching Protect 3D. You know how closely Daniel was tied into all of that as far as what they did to get him back on the field. It's been a good month, good start to 2020 for Duke football. Go ahead and I'll take questions.
Hey, Coach, this is Steve Wiseman. I wanted to, let's start off with what made this the right time for you to go back to taking over the play caller role? Why did you make that decision for now?
Well, I'm just, I felt like for me, I needed it, but I've been here 12 years, Steve, and I trust our defense. I trust our special teams 1,000%. I trust our administrative people. We got Kevin Lehman here as our chief of staff, and the staff administratively. I've worked with Art and Hap and Heather and all the people that support football, and I trust 100% what they're doing. And so when I go in that offensive staff room and I'm liable to sit in there 14 hours a day, I know it's going to be okay when I walk out of there. So I've been wanting to get back in it, and it's something that it's near and dear to me, and I have missed it, to be honest with you. So I think it's the right time.
Coach, this is Mark Watson, Blue Devil Nation. You're going to be making these adjustments. What roles will some of the other guys take on offense around you?
Talking about coaches? Yeah, it's going to all be basically the same with them. I'm going to continue to have Zach coach quarterbacks, and everybody else will keep their positions. Trooper's going to be with receivers. Jeff will be tight ends, and Ray will take the running back. But I think it's been kind of fun for everybody in there. We're not going to reinvent the wheel, but we've taken a whole new approach to how we're going to do it. And, the way I've always put an offense together and put it in, and I'm excited about that. We've got a great deal of our spring install already done. We met when I've known this for a while, so we started meeting when we came back when recruiting was dead. And so we're grinding this out right now. But nobody as an individual is going to run an offense, defense, or special teams. It will be a staff. And none of us individually are as smart as all of us collectively. So what I like about this staff, there's a lot of veteran people that give us the opportunity. And as I said, Greg brings something new. But I'm going to tell you now, our coaches, Ray, Zach, Jeff, Trooper, I think it's awesome what their experience, what they know, the studies they've done, or even our young people in there. We use a lot of video, and we just finished about an hour and a half, 90 minutes of a hard study. So it's going to be exciting what we come out with, and it all has to be pretty simple with me. You know that, Mark. I'm not smart enough to do too much. I just hope we do it well.
One more question on Bryce, Coach. Obviously, he's, with his statements, he infers that he hasn't really been, guaranteed any playing time or anything. So I guess the other guys, the newer guys, will get a jump ahead of him in the spring. But how do you see this quarterback situation hopefully playing out now that you got 4 guys on the stable?
Yeah, I think my first focus will be thinking of nothing but spring practice and the people that are here. And we're going to get the reps in. It's going to be some work this spring. It's going to be a grinding, grueling work. But we got to see until you know what's happening there, you don't know much of anything. Who's going to step up? Who's going to compete at the highest level? And most importantly, who's going to produce? And we're going to put all of these guys in a position to produce for us. Then the next step after that is when actually Chase is here, and we're gonna, as I said, be teaching him all along because we legally can. And then a big part of it is where's Chase going to be when he walks in the door. And I think basically from being around him, he's going to have a great amount of knowledge, if not know all of what we're doing. And I think he'll get a chance to come up and watch some spring ball. So, there's a lot of ways to do it today with technology. He can be seeing everything we're doing, from meetings right into the football. And I've already spoken to him about that. One of the things I like a lot about Chase Bryce is he's a football junkie. I mean, he's a mature guy. It's important to him. I knew him in high school, so I didn't have to relearn someone. And I think that's one of the things that's been most appealing for me is his family, and he are, just like our other guys, he's a great fit for Duke football.
One more quick thing. He also had a relationship with some of your current players. Did that help with the process? Did that help that he knows some of the guys already on the team?
Yeah, no question. I mean, both Taylors, Will and John, and then Jalen Alexander were teammates. And then he knew other guys that he competed against. How many of our guys are from Atlanta? So he had great relationships with Dion and a bunch of people, and I think that certainly gave him a confidence. And one of the things he had here were eyes inside the program. He could ask those guys, hey, this or that, and he knew he was getting the truth.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
David,
Yes.
Jim Sumner, good afternoon. I want to ask you about Hamilton. You referenced him as a tackle. I think he played mainly guard at Stanford, but he kind of has a tackle build at 6'7", 300. Is he what you need to maybe move Jacob Monk back inside?
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, but he is a tackle for us. It's way too early to start talking about where you're putting people. Plus, we have a new offensive line coach, but we are going to play Devery at tackle. Very familiar with his high school years. Some of the work that he did at Stanford in practice, different circumstances. I think he's absolutely a tackle without exception, and I don't think he's at his best when he plays guard. No offense to Stanford, but that's just how I feel about it.
Okay. Now, are you still waiting on any more LOIs?
You never know. I mean, there's always a possibility, but things, strange things happen in this business. So just kind of, at some point, you're always going to be, waiting. I don't know if waiting's the right word, but not sure of exactly what all's happening all the time, but we'll see.
Okay, and let me ask you, we haven't talked about your safety grad student transfer. He is in spring. Is he enrolled now? Is Woods enrolled now?
Yes, Jamaric is here, and I probably shouldn't have left him off the list, but yes, he is here and looks good. He's been in our morning runs. He's been eager. He's healthy. So we're definitely excited about Jamaric.
And this doesn't technically qualify as a recruiting commitment, but we've heard good things about where Mark Gilbert is. Is he going to be good to go this spring?
Well, Mark is running, but I would not say he's cleared yet for spring, but he looks really good, and it's fun to see him smile. He's been a warrior throughout this entire time, and Mark's back smiling when he's running. That's always a good sign, and he's running well.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Hey, David, this is Steve Weisman again. Can you kind of talk a little bit about what your involvement was in the offense before, and what you used to do, and then
that's a good
you
question.
14 hours a day in there now. So,
yeah, I mean, I've always been around it, and had parameters on some of the things we wanted to do, but I have not called plays. If I want something run in a game in the past, we've run it. I've certainly been aware of what we're doing game planning, but I've also, Steve, spent lengthy times in with the defense. I've also spent lengthy times with whomever since I've been here, and that's how you asked it, was doing special teams, which requires a lot of study for me. And I'm still going to keep up with it, don't get me wrong. My Sunday routine in the season won't change. I'll watch every play of the game as it happens. So I will always watch and grade both sides of the ball and the kicking game. But it's just going to take, great effort on my part to make sure that I can't do this offensive thing as a consultant, if you follow what I'm saying. That's kind of been my role. This has to be all in. That's the only way I know to do that particular job, and that's how we're going to go about it.
Coach, something not related necessarily to recruiting, but I know your schedule came out since we last talked.
Yep.
Any early thoughts on that? I was a little surprised to see that Duke plays all their in-state rivals 3 games in a row.
Yeah, I don't know if that's sense of humor or what, they have down there. I always pay attention when we have a Saturday, Thursday circumstance and then have another Saturday, Friday circumstance. So you have to take a little pre-planning. I did that a lot in the SEC at Ole Miss, but we hadn't faced that a lot here. So there's a mechanism that you use and kick in, and we will work that out as a staff before we get to that. I'll already have those practice schedules and the weekly schedule as we go forward, and then we will do some extra preparation on opponents that's the circumstance in the summer, so we're a little more ready on a short week. You hear that all the time in the NFL. I know mostly from players, but it's certainly challenging to coaches. But it is the way of modern football. So here we go. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.